So Halo Reach is finally out on PC, but there's no Forge World, and there's not going to be one released until 2020. But there is a way to enable it in your game settings so that you can enjoy the fruits of custom games, Forge World, and crazy kill balls everywhere. If you want to know how to do that, this video is going to break down a couple of things you can do in order to enable Forge World and play with several items that have not been available to play with, like the Saber, the Seraph, different types of decorations and units and stuff like that. So let's get into it. So the first thing you're going to want to do, and this goes for any time you're overwriting or modifying files, is create a backup. And it doesn't have to be a backup of the entire game installation, but just the files that you mess with, the files that you modify. Make sure you copy and paste those files into a folder that is set aside for when you want to play matchmaking. And also, you might want to make a folder, a second folder with the edited files, so you can easily go back and forth without having to worry about changing numbers or overriding files. It's simple. Just do this. Be smart. Also, it's not a bad idea to launch without anti-cheat. I would hate to know what happens if you do, but do not launch with anti-cheat enabled. That goes for the host and for the people playing with the host. So in the subreddit Halo Mods, a user by the name of the Informer420 shares with us how to do this. You're going to need a tool called Hex Editor. I'll provide that link in the description. Once you have that downloaded, you're going to need to open the file called mcc-windowsnoeditor.pack, and you're going to need to change two values from 00 to 27. If you're a Windows Store user instead of a Steam user, the process may be a little bit different for you. This walkthrough is strictly for Steam, but I'm sure you can, based off what I give you and Reddit that I've mentioned, you can go in and do this pretty simply yourself. So once Hex Editor is installed, I'm going to press Control G, and I'm going to type in the first value, that is 1E302110. I'm going to make sure that hex is enabled as well as begin. Then I'm going to press OK, and it's going to return a column and a row, and you can see that on the screen it's 00 before I change anything. And then I'm going to change this value to 27. I'm then going to press Control G again and go to the second row and column and edit that value to be 27. That number is 1E2F52D0. Again, hex and begin should be enabled. It's going to go to the very top of the screen where the blinking bar is, and I'm going to change that to 27. I'm then going to save. So that right there enabled Forge World in your game. If you go and you were to launch Forge World right now, you could play it. But you wouldn't have the sabers, you wouldn't have the seraphs, you wouldn't be able to build in places you're normally not. In order to do that, you're going to need a separate Forge World file. And I'm sure there's many of them, but one I stumbled across in the same subreddit works for what I need it to do. GameCheat13 posted this. This is his edition of the Forge World map. So all you have to do is download this and override it. There are no barriers in terms of where you can go. I tested this out and I was shocked at how much detail the devs paid attention to in the original Forge World, because they have textures that are really far out just so that you have the illusion that you're in a really vast area. You can walk in quite a few places. You might want to take like a falcon or saber to get to where you want to go. But this is really awesome. There was a big budget. I don't think you would ever hit your budget when you're forging things. And I'm sure there's going to be other files too, but this one is readily accessible and good to go. So the first thing you want to do is to go back to the Halo the Master Chief Collection directory, select Halo Reach, then go to Maps. And then you're going to want to copy the forge_halo. So basically copy it into a separate folder, just so you have a backup. Once you have your backup, you don't really have to worry about messing anything up because you're only dealing with one file. So now take the file that you downloaded from a Reddit post and you're simply just going to paste it into this directory and you're done. So now you have the new Forge map with the basically the unlimited budget, with all the new vehicles, new decorations like the Pelican. You can't fly them yet, but I'm sure as soon as I post this, somebody's going to have a mod to fly the Pelican just because that's how things are. I used an old Xbox 360 controller to fly around and place objects in Forge. I know we're still working on Forge, so a couple things with a mouse and keyboard may not be ready yet. That's certainly one precaution you may want to take. Only the host of the custom games has to have a file. So if you yourself, you do this, you go into Forge mode and you place down everything you want to place, then you can be the host or somebody can grab it from your file share and nobody else has to go into Forge World at all. So only one person necessarily has to create the map. With that being said, everyone, not just the host, should have anti-cheat disabled until we know more about 343's intentions with modded gameplay. As of now, only one person in a match can reliably place objects in this type of Forge mode. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it has been beneficial and clear enough so that you could do this yourself. And maybe, hey, you can share it, share this process with your buddies, and then we can all get back to playing custom games again. Have a good one, guys.